Everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of Core Office Hours, hosted by yours truly, Keone Chong and Jose Caballero. We welcome you from wherever you are in the world to right here with us right now in this moment in time to hang with the system and Core Office Hours. Please like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear, questions. We're here. We're here to support. So here at the System, we believe connection is a currency. And our mission is to activate creative leaders globally to tackle society's biggest challenges through design, to design the future together. So here's today's agenda. We're going to do our drop-in for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to dive into the case study with the incredibly talented Pape for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to do an open Q&A and answer any questions around brand or brand strategy, development, how we built the business. All of those things are on the table. Then we'll do the upload, what were the highlights from today's sessions. And then, as we always do, we end with music and no cookies. So this episode is brought to you by Core Discovery. It's the framework that we're using. It's a design strategy framework. And you can find it at coresmagic.com. So we like to start every session with our drop-in. And here's today's drop-in. It's your name, location, what do you do? And what is the one thing that you are grateful for today? So I'll model that for you. My name is Keone Chong, and I am downtown LA, a bit muggy today. But warm nonetheless. I am an educator and a Web3 strategist. What is one thing that I'm grateful for today? I'm grateful to be here with all of you and to be sharing the insights and knowledge in today's conversation. And I am complete. Maybe Jose, would you like to drop in?
Music is a little loud for me, so I'm going to lower it just a tad bit. I'm very grateful for the journey. I did a sketch yesterday. I'm Jose Caballero. I'm in Los Angeles. I am community builder, strategist, but at the end of the day, I'm a designer. And the one thing I'm grateful for is the journey. This is like a representation of the journey. You have all these streams that you're aligning, and then suddenly you might go into like a different kind of like thing, and then you have to kind of reset and then flow back in. And this is obviously something that we do in community, so I'm really grateful for that. So the journey, and I will pick Hania.
Yes, thank you. I was writing in the chat. My name is Hania Bridge. I'm living in Germany. I'm a biologist. And what I'm doing currently is working in marketing and sales of German life science products. I'm focused in international markets. Now I'm working with some German companies, Jose. Could you imagine? And also doing, I have learned from you, from the system, how to focus more on customer desires and how important is that the brand not only lead a quality product, but also something that improve the quality of life of the persons in a human way. And thank you to your system, Jose, to all what we have done in this year.
Thank you, Hania. Can you pick somebody?
I would like to pick Ferdinand Mempim. Ferdinand Mempim.
Hello. Yep.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm Ferdini. You can call me Ferdy, and I'm from the Philippines. I'm a product designer, and one thing I'm grateful for today is it's relatively a peaceful day, probably because it's Friday and everybody's just waiting for the weekends. That's it. Thank you. Jenna, are you done?
Oops, sorry. I didn't realize I was still on. you want me to go?
Yeah, name
Sure. Yeah.
and
Jump
pick
in.
someone when you're
All
done.
right. I'm Jana. I'm in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. I do brand identity and brand strategy. And I'm super thankful for supportive creative communities. We just need to lift each other up rather than viewing each other as competition. There's plenty of work to go around.
Amen. Pick somebody to go.
A list of people. I can pick Pape.
Thank you, Jenna. So, hello everyone, I'm Pape. I'm based in the land of the psychotropics, Panama. It's raining and I'm an artist. I do art through brands, illustrations, storytelling, and yeah, that's what I do. And I'm grateful, actually, I'm super grateful for my future wife. I'm so grateful for having her support. And yeah, I'm not doing it alone, so I'm stronger, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have that in my life, to have her in my life, and yeah, I'm grateful for her. And I choose Pat.
I'm Patricia from Manila, Philippines, a band strategist, and I'm grateful for just being here with the community. I don't know, the energy that we have and seeing everyone here today. It just energizes me to see Pape presenting, Ferdini is here, we have new people. So yeah, enjoying the moment together today. And yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. The community.
Thank you
I
for that, Pat.
choose did Clifford go?
Cliff. What's up, bro?
Hi, everybody. My name is Cliff Washington. I am a brand strategist and creative consultant located in the great state of New York. And I am grateful for community and connection because I feel through this network, I have been able to kind of have a new appreciation for how important community and connection is. And that's fed me through the hard times and helped lead me into new opportunities. So I'm very much grateful for that. Did you want to go?
You want.
Hey Cliff, thank you. I'm Ioana Balcan from Brașov, Romania, and I'm a brand architect and designer and an illustrator. And I work with impact DAOs and traditional businesses. And I'm very grateful for whenever I have energy, especially today, to work 100%. And also I'm very grateful for the community that the system has built. Jason.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason. I live just outside of Toronto, and I'm grateful for what I've learned over the last couple of years. Let me progress in my career.
Right. Awesome.
Mark.
Everyone, my name is Mark. I'm from Harrisonburg, Virginia. I'm an athlete, I'm a creative, I'm a photographer, I'm a tech enthusiast, and I do IT consulting. One thing that I'm really grateful for is being around creatives such as Pape that just really think a different way and help. I've really inspired being around other creative people, and that's what I'm really grateful for is, I guess, the community. And who hasn't gone yet?
We've got Alejandro. We've got
Alejandro. Let's go, man. Run it up.
Can you see me?
Yeah. What's up, brother?
Yeah, we can see you. Maybe not. Oh, he dropped.
While he's sorting that out, Guillermo, you want to drop in?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm parked, so don't worry, I'm not driving. My name is Guillermo. I'm from Panama City, home of the Psychotropic, like Pape said. I'm in real estate, and I'm in technology. Really grateful for finding this amazing framework core back in January, February 2020, thanks to my good friend Pape here. and has been such a valuable tool for my work, and also has joined with this amazing community. So I'm very grateful for that. And I don't know, I'm in the car, so who can tell me who's
I
on?
think that's almost everybody that is on stage.
Yeah, Ginder.
Alejandro's back.
Alejandro.
Oh,
Yeah, I think-
Alejandro. Yo.
I was able to start it out. Sorry about that. Yeah,
All
so
good.
my name is Alejandro. I'm a brand identity designer from Costa Rica, and I'm very grateful for the generosity of this meeting and sharing so openly. So thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Por ahí, Pape.
Jinder, last but not least.
Hi everyone, I'm Jinder, based in London. I'm a UX designer and strategist. I'm grateful for stuff that I previously felt ungrateful for. So like when I was little, I was made to chop onions and garlic. But that's a great thing because it's a good key skill to have. And you know, if 10 people turn up, I'm happy to cook and improvise what ingredients I may have. So it's carried me through, you know, really good life skills. And it's the same when lockdown happened. I felt ungrateful then, but coming to core, that was a real amazing energy and love. And I found myself, the community, and it's ahead of the curve, and it's helped me, and I hope it's helped you all as well. So it's a great place to be.
Thank you for that, Kinder. Rad. Thank you for everyone for being here. All right, switching gears a little bit, we're going to dive into today's core case study. Yeah, so today we're going to talk with Pape and his brand, Psychotropic Apparel. So Pape, can you kind of tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes, Kenny. So I'm Pape. I'm a 90s kid, super empathetic, emotional, like the antithesis of the machito from Latin America. I'm not the machito from Latin America. I'm quite the opposite. That took me throw me into this journey of life, of discovering myself and healing myself from a lot of self-rejection, like rejecting myself. And basically that's how I became an artist, through discovering my identity. And by discovering my identity, I've been able to help others discover the identity for their brands and their journey. And yeah, I'm the co-founder of Psychotropic, and also my personal project that is Pape Inc. as an artist. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell, basically.
Thank you so much for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about what Psychotropic Apparel is?
So psychotropic, it's one phrase, is life is a trip. And I understand that as we all have the same destination in this life, we're going to the same place. And it's about the journey, it's about traveling, it's about the conversations we have, it's about discovering each other through music, through the conversations, is seeing myself in others, is partying, is dancing, it's going to the beach, is chilling in your house and enjoying the trip of life. That's it. That's Psychotropic. And it's basically, it's a clothing brand, it's an apparel brand. That's how it comes out. But it's more than that. It's a feeling. It's the feeling of life.
That's so rad. Thank you for that. Can you tell me a little bit about the process of Psychotropic, you know, and how Core was able to help you really execute this brand?
For sure. So Psychotropic was created 4 years ago after a friend of mine just told me like he really wanted to collaborate with me in a form of building a brand. And I had this name, Psychotropic. I had it in a sketchbook, and I really wanted to make something with that, but I didn't have clarity of what it was or how to build a brand. So I remember I went to this course from Jeff Staples, where he kind of gave you an oversight of how to build a brand. And I started doing something similar to the brand attributes. And that's where I came with the statement, life is a trip. And I remember I was also going through a coaching stage of my life, as well as my business partner. So we knew we wanted to do something around consciousness, around growth. And that was at the beginning. So we came up with the logo is the same one as I created at the beginning. And the train of thought for the logo was just, if we wanted to be identified with something, we wanted it to be with a palm tree. If people said like, what's psychotropic? We said, I want people to say like, the palm tree brand, like, yeah, that brand with the palm tree. And just because we're here in the tropics, like, man, we're surrounded by palm trees, and I don't see a way where you can have like bad vibes around palm trees. So it's just an omen of good vibes. And we did that. We started selling t-shirts. Actually, behind me, there's a screen print of the first t-shirts that we printed ourselves in the process. And yeah, that's how it all started. But growing a business, like, it's not as easy as it sounds. And I remember in 2020, when I discovered Core, I knew immediately that the only way I could experiment what was possible to do with Core was running it myself in a business where I had control of where we were going to practice it. So basically it was a Core lab to create a brand. And yeah, that's the reason why I decided to run it with, it's only my business partner and me doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did Core, and it changed everything. It was the beginning to build a bridge to business and not just a hobby and an idea.
Yeah, you talk a lot about the challenges of having multiple visions or different ideas and how to synthesize them and bring alignment. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, and here specifically, the challenge was kind of big because Psychotropic, I was too attached to the brand. It was really hard for me to not see it as mine. And I feel that brought this tension to the relationship on how we were building the brand, that it was really hard to make decisions because emotions and ego was brought into place. So when we did the brand attributes, and we only did brand attributes and user profiles, but it was an honest conversations between two friends that had a dream in common, and we were able to understand that we had the same vision. And it also allowed me to open the conversation to Juanmi and just seeing the brand through his eyes. And I feel that helped me release a lot of responsibility for the brand. And after we did this exercise, the brand was the both of us. And that was amazing. It was amazing because the exercise also, it not only forces you to communicate clearly, but at the end, when you're going to do this statement, like Psychotropic provides limited edition apparel to conscious rebels through conscious awareness and positive colors and vibrations, helping them feel part of an awakened community and inspired to take action. Join us, face fear, embrace freedom. Like when we prioritize all of what we had defined on the brand attributes, and we said this statement, we knew we were in alignment. Like being able to define the brand in one phrase after 2 years, it was life-changing for us.
That's really powerful. The way that you describe it really allows for me to see how you could bring like your human elements, like your spirituality, your values into like crafting the brand in a really expressive way. Were there any other challenges that you went through? Or maybe highlights or insights that you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, when you said that, I feel that like we didn't just want to build another brand. Like the brand had to be authentic to who we are, to our values, to what we think. And we really wanted to like bring people into our lives, in our lifestyle, our culture, and transform them. Basically, that's what we really wanted. So I think the biggest insight that from Core was that I believe from my perspective, it's not possible to move forward without alignment and clarity. And I think that what Core gave us was the clarity to what we wanted to do and understand who we're building the brand for. And I feel that that's where when they did the customer profiles that I don't like to call, I call them co-creators, but it was seeing ourselves in the brands and finding the needs to just build a product around that. So we needed to inspire people. We knew we needed to tell a story. We knew that we wanted to connect through music, and that's why like music is a big part for our culture, and it has been a part. Like we used to put a Spotify code in the label, and that's just from they need to discover new music. How can we help that user discover through music from a product? And that's how we started like developing ideas. And I feel that if you go, Jose, to the business goals prioritization, like having that exercise, it allows us, like this was 2 years ago. If you go to effectiveness, like actually we realized we had a lot of efficiency stuff to do, like legal stuff, building a website, like we made those decisions from the core. And we started moving, like this has been our map for 2 years, basically.
Incredible. I really love how you describe using this this framework to lead to innovation, like sharing music on the tags. But I also like how it's super practical, right? Like you have to treat a business as a business, and understanding that you are going to have some priorities, and they may be administrative, right? You talked about the legal and the trademarking and such. So super powerful stuff. Awesome. Are there any last insights or thoughts that you'd like to share before we open up the Q&A?
I think, yeah, the biggest is, as I said, I think alignment and clarity are crucial for building a brand. And that I feel that building authentic brands is something that when you open the core, because I've done core for myself, I've done it for my business, but I've also run core for other people. And I feel that the fact that you can open a conversation and detach your ego from the expectations of work actually allows you to connect more to your customer. And you actually create authentic brands through that, because you're not doing it for the sake. I'm not a designer. I didn't go to design school. If you ask me, I suck at typography. I don't have the best design skills, but I know how to listen to people, and I know how to take that conversation into this framework and build a brand around that. And I feel that that's something that the conversation of design, it's about that humanity. It's not about the aesthetics or how it looks. It's what you're trying to tell through the brand. And I feel that that's what core allows, is for you to open the conversation to build authentic brands. That will be my insight.
Thank you for that. And just as a tangent, because this was a conversation that or a talk that I gave yesterday, talking about what the future of branding is like, and what are the expectations and how they've evolved. And I think it's just that right now. Now brands are about higher fidelity between like the human relationship, right? The authenticity. And the typical way that we've built businesses for a very long time prioritized revenue, it didn't prioritize people. And yeah, really awesome. So thank you for that, Pape. Now this is for the community in the audience. What are your questions, right? Like if you've got Pape here live,
or your own questions about core and your practice. We thought the case studies as a foundation, but it would be great to just open it up to a larger conversation.
Yeah.
If I may, I have a quick question.
Go for it.
Okay. So, Pape, how did you, discover your ideal clients? You want to call them creators. How was that process?
in my like when I'm doing brands, can you repeat the question, because I had trouble listening.
Specifically, Pape, for Psychotropic, how did you define who your users were? Your co-creators.
Okay, perfect. If you go to, can you go to the customer matrix? Yeah, so here, like what we actually did something that is in the core framework, and I feel it has been a little controversial, but what we did is that we knew that we were building a brand for ourselves as well. That's the first question, and we knew we could connect with ourselves in the past. So when we created the first profile, we knew it was we asked ourselves this question: who were we when we were 22 years old? What was going on in our life, and what were the questions that we had when we were 22 years old? And Bigotes is actually a dude that we saw on a party. Like, he was having the time of his life, and he has this crazy mustache. And I said, you know, I want that person to buy my brand. I want that authentic soul to buy my brand. And how we built him was like, as if it was me and Juanmi when we were 22 years old, trying to discover what was going on with life, trying to find purpose, trying to find alignment, wanting to meet people, wanting to grow. Like, that's the person we were looking for. And then it was us in the future. What are we looking for in the future? And we created a profile for that. Us in 20 years as fathers, you know, what would we be asking for? Then down in the lower one, we saw it as our allies. That is other artists, and that's Faisal is a good friend of mine. He's a photographer, and I knew him personally, and we built a profile around the artist, and as well as Amaru is another artist, and they're super into nature. They're activists. We knew we wanted that profile in our life, and yeah, basically that's how we did it. But that was just a hypothesis, and we actually were able to validate the hypothesis 6 months later in a trip to Venao here in Panama, when we started to talk to people and ask them about them live, and they were actually customers, and we were realizing that we were like meeting these people in person and having a conversation with them, and yeah, that was actually amazing. Yeah, that's how we built it.
That's really cool. Thank you.
And just one other thing, I feel that, of course, this has to be, you can validate with data. We actually did a formula, like it was, we knew the artists needed to showcase their work, and we knew Bigotes needed inspiration. So what we did was like, we're going to showcase artists to inspire other people. And we did this Google form to ask for artists to tell their story. And then we turned that into a Instagram carousel that we shared on our Instagram. And that's also one way we use needs to value proposition. But if we were also doing like a market study on clients, that is something that we have to do more, because the hypothesis on its own, it's not, I couldn't say that we know exactly who is buying from us the last 2 years. And I feel right now we're on a point where we can do a survey to understand that much better. Yeah. So yeah, that would be.
Thank you for that, Pape. Great question. Here's a question from Ava. What was the most challenging part of this process?
Of core?
Yeah.
I feel execution is the hardest. Like, executing on a strategy is really difficult. It's really easy to come up with ideas and understand the hypothesis, but another thing is validating this on the day-to-day. And I think since we've done it all, my partner and me, like we're limited to the budget on how much we can discover of the process. So I think that has been the biggest challenge, but it has been the best way to learn how to build a brand from scratch and optimizing resources. And like, every time we have to open, like, let's say we just started doing email, we go back to the customer profiles, we go back to the customer needs, and we find ways to to give value propositions to that. But we're limited to the budget of what we can do. And I think that has been the biggest challenge, to be patient and let the brand unveil itself.
Yeah. Yeah, there is such a thing as growing too fast. So yeah, I love that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Jose, do you want to talk a little bit about the customer life cycles?
Well, I wanted to ask a question to Pape first. When you say value proposition, what do you mean?
I see it when I see it as love. That's basically how I see it. Is like you're thinking about what someone else need, and you're finding a solution to what they need, and without them asking it or without asking anything in return. And for me, it's basically the added value to this, not just being another t-shirt brand, and actually opening the conversation to our culture, to what we resonate. And it's actually the only way you can weave culture and create culture is by doing this, because that's the conversation. And I feel brand is a conversation with people. And I feel the value proposition is just the topics that we're in that journey of life. I know some things that someone might not, and I'm just giving them away through a brand. That's it.
You're talking about you take the needs of the customer and you transfer into the value.
Into solutions. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has community. Like one of your value propositions is we give you community.
Yes, exactly. It's that simple to say, not that easy to do.
Nice. Awesome. Ioana, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I was asking if you have managed to validate your customer profiles until now, and how did that turn out?
We validated them on a trip to Venao, and we met them in person. And I feel that's the thing with frameworks. That's what I've always said. You cannot rely on frameworks to build something. I feel frameworks are a mindset, and once you think in the mindset of core, you realize it's always happening. You're always talking to your customer. And when you go out and you start talking about your brand and you meet them and you ask them the questions, like how are you going to build the customer profile? You need to build the demographics. So you ask them, how old are you? Where do you come from? What do you do? What's your life? What is your situation today in your life, and what are you looking for? And people will just tell you the story. And Jose said that you will be amazed what can happen when you ask a stranger a question. They will answer you. And I feel that I haven't validated with data, but I have validated in a conversation with a lot of people that have bought the brand, and I've seen what we wrote to the people that I've met. It's quite similar, and it's amazing. It's the best feeling ever.
And how has that impacted the brand? I mean, because you had the chance to actually talk to your customers.
Like once you start talking to your customers, and they will start asking what they really need and what they want. So you're not longer just having a monologue in your head of what you think people need. People actually ask you what they need, and then you can give them an answer of you can answer to that need. So what I feel changes is that it actually becomes a conversation, and that's what I enjoy the most. It's being able to ask what colors of t-shirt they want, or ask if they want to see a character, which new character they want to see. Do they enjoy music? Do they like listening to the music we're playing? What kind of music do they want to listen? And they just tell you. You don't have to ask it yourself. People will ask for you. And I feel it makes it easier, because that's when you started building a brand for someone else, and you release your ego, like this is my brand, to this is our brand. That's the best part of validating with clients.
Yeah, really powerful stuff, Pape. Go ahead, Jose.
No, I was just gonna say that Hania has some business questions.
Yeah. I just wanted to highlight from a cultural perspective, or from an anthropological perspective, it's cultural validation that you're talking about here. And one of the things that I think is an insight to really take away from core And this is from, I don't know how many hundreds of times I've run it. And for you in your experience, but it allows for like rapid understanding of a community, really rapid pathways to innovation, and then the ability to validate with a framework that allows for like sustainable growth. And for me, like those things have been incredibly powerful, outcomes and impacts from which to leverage core. So thank you for that. Hania, you have a couple of business questions, right? After you clarify the brand, or after you've clarified the brand, have you increased sales, and how is the contact with your previous defined customers? Can you clarify that last point, Hania? How does the contact with your previous defined
I think it's that the customers that you've actually are buying, the ones that you defined is the question. Is that right, Hania?
It's right.
Okay.
I mean, we've definitely been able to increase sales, and specifically because I actually know that people become a super fan of the brand, and that's the biggest impact that I feel that you can have as an artist or as a creator is having a genuine connection, building that genuine connection, and that translates in sales. It translates to one person buying 6 t-shirts. It translates to one person buying 7 t-shirts to give away to their friends because they love the brand and they just want to gift it. So that's the way I can say that brand does sell, because like more than brand, like Psychotropic is a culture, and it's attached to a feeling that is magical and that is live, and that feeling is something that there's no way you can pay for this. There's no way I can tell you like this is authentic, this is real, and it does convert. Now our challenge is how can we scale this business? And then the conversation changes to how can we run our cash flow? How can we ship to the USA? How can we optimize communication? And new questions start coming that of course we can fix them with design, but the baseline, the fundament, the armature of the brand is what we build around. And now it's just a matter of scalability. That's the challenge we have right now.
Awesome. Thank you for that question, Hania. Mark, can you ship to the US yet, brother?
We're working on that. And hopefully we will have the solution soon. But as I said, the biggest challenge is being able to tackle many goals at the same time. And I feel that we're on that bridge to like getting investment, to finding more support. But man, we build a brand, like having a website running with an LLC, with a bank account, with customers buying every week, with an email list. That's not easy. It's not an easy task to do by 2 people, only investing $4,000 each and a lot of time. So yeah.
Thank you, brother. This is fantastic. I can't wait to see your rise, man.
One last business question before we, I think, go into general core questions or conversation. If the sky would open and your deity of choice would give you one thing that could help you right this second with your growth and with what you need, what would that be?
Being able to build a team, having the money to build a team and tackle more goals at the same time. And that's basically like, if I had $100,000 right now, I would build a team and I would co-create with them, and I would bring them into the conversation of what Psychotropic is, and I would open every single channel to just make it grow. Like that's what I would do. Like it's now it's the point where we trust enough the brand that I wouldn't be afraid for asking for money and working, because the only challenge to build a brand is being consistent. And we could have thrown the towel many times, and it's been 4 years and we've rebuilt this brand 5 times. And I feel like that consistency is what I have on this side, is that we have a promise, we have an idea. It's not only an idea, we have a project, and we won't stop doing it. Even if the money comes or it doesn't come, we have been doing it, we will keep doing it, but money will help tackle more goals at the same time, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Then a follow-up question to that: if aside from money, because sales will produce money, right? What's the one tactical thing that you could change to the business that would increase sales pretty quickly?
It would be building a funnel, a marketing funnel through ads. Building a fulfillment center in the US where we can deliver all to like the entire world, and through those marketing funnels, like trying to get people to know the brand, understand the feeling of the brand, resonate with it, and sell globally. Basically, that would be the way that I would do it.
Have you considered drop shipping or manufacturing, like that's done, remotely, or even Printify, like basically on demand?
I've considered, but the thing is that the experience of the product is sacrificed on doing that. So I wouldn't like for someone to receive, they are not receiving the same product I'm selling in the webpage. They won't receive this package, they won't receive the stickers, they won't receive a certificate of authenticity, they won't receive the playlist. Like it's not the same product. Like I would be able to sell more maybe, but it's not the same product, and I don't feel that's honest with people. Like that's why I say a fulfillment center. It's having the packaging, and I think Andrew said it once, I feel it's not fair to just, I trust my product, that's why I trust to have inventory, and I'm not afraid that I will sell it. It's just a matter of time. So
well, one partnership option is to come to work with someone here in the US to find a boutique or like an already existing sales channel here, and deliver inventory to them and have them fulfill it for you from here.
Pape, to that point, I'm going to connect you with a friend of mine. He does very high-end printing, and it's by hand. He managed the store himself. He does a lot of the high-end stuff for actually the cannabis industry. But he might be an interesting partner for you. So remind me to connect you with him later on.
For sure. Thank you, Kenny. And Jose, now that you said, like, the retail customer is something that we didn't consider when we did core, but now, like 3 months ago, we were contacted by a retailer that sells in music festivals, and it actually opened, like, we realized there's a customer that we were not considering, and now the exercise is going back to core, understanding who this retailer is, what's his name, what do they need, and we're going to build the brand book around the needs of this retailer that is a person, and we go back to core. So that's also a next step that we have now, that it's in control, that we need no money, we just need a brand book. That's it.
And the brand book has what in it?
Basically, I have no idea. I would have to do the understand that customer profile. But what I see is the story of the brand is really important. Like here, like if you go to the Behance, like people can see the design system behind Psychotropic, like the characters of Psychotropic, the patterns of Psychotropic, what everything means behind the brand, and how we do have a system to create the brand. And it's not this one, it's on Behance. This is like a simplified version, but
I'll get it. But that's interesting. So the brand book is basically like the lifestyle book that an apparel brand uses. That you use for, it's a sales. It's like having a deck. You could do a downloadable version for it so that you can distribute it to potential retailers. You can do different things, but that's an interesting idea. Okay, it's beautiful. Questions about core? Open it up. More questions for Pape. We're about 20 minutes. 15.
I think Jana has a question.
Go, Jana.
I think Jose cleared it up, but just talking about using that brand book, that you're producing that for your customer with them in mind to give to them directly, not as an internal document to build from. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I will use the brand book, like it's part of the design system and the philosophy behind the brand, but it's also like all of we have like a lot of content of pictures like that we did for the last collection, and basically I know they need to know how much inventory we have, the sales, which is the best seller t-shirts, like the numbers. They need to know. They want also data that validates that this is not just an idea. So I think that the customer profile of the retailer is someone that also needs some insight of how the brand is built, what are the numbers, where are we heading? And that's something that I would love, not just to share like pretty pictures and the illustrations, but also for them, because we don't want any retailer. It has to be someone that is connected to our culture, that appreciate good like illustration, that appreciate consciousness, that wants to connect to that culture. And that's why now we know it's someone that it's around music festivals. We didn't know that. And I didn't know like music festivals, they sell like a lot of merch. And that's actually a great customer for us to grow. And yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Do the link for Behance, Pape, so I can bring it up on screen. I'm trying to find it, but that was a great question, a great clarifying question. How is this different than doing it for your customers? Like, what's your experience like for those of us who are here who primarily have done the work for others, but not for ourselves, even though we do recommend the first thing you do is you do it for your own practice. How has it been different, Pape?
I got control of what I want to do and where I want to explore. And that gives me complete freedom to go crazy and try stuff that might not work, because I feel the client's work comes with a pressure of delivering results. And I feel that for me in my practice, I felt it wasn't fair to promise a result without me going through the process and understanding if I could build a brand. So for me, it was a lab to experiment core and try new ideas and build the entire customer journey myself, so that I could get some insights from that. And then it's different, because what I love about doing Psychotropic is that this is not only the brand as a clothing brand, but this is also my statement as an artist. And this is the universe that I will build, not only in t-shirts, but in my own personal practice. So like, this is my self-expressions. This is art made brand. This is not design for me. This is art for me. And this is, I bring myself into the table. With clients, I become a creative Sherpa. I bring them, I bring their essence, their authenticity. It's not me anymore. It's not about me. Here, it took me a while to understand that, you know what, I'm building a brand how I want to build a brand. And I won't ask for permission to how to build it. I'm just going to build it. And with clients, it would be wrong to do that. That's too much ego to do it with a client. With a client, I ask him, how do you want to do it? And they tell me, and then I ask myself, how would I do what they want to do? And I also bring a little of myself all the time, but I do it with them. And here I did it with Juanmi. Like, he's my co-creator. In the others is the client. So yeah. Oh, and one last thing. I think that what is amazing of doing client work is that, imagine you're playing a game of creativity and clients give you the boundaries where you have to create, and that actually makes you become more creative, because the hardest part to create about for yourself is that everything is a possibility. And it's so hard to narrow it down to actually execute into something. So I feel that when you work with clients, they're just like giving you, it's like a game. They say, I want something bold, I want something colorful, and I want something that makes people feel peace and empathy and blah. And you have to listen to that and you have to translate that into something. And I feel that that's like a game of creativity for me.
Man, this is such an incredible story, Pape, and we're just very, very grateful to have you with us. Any last questions before we close out today's session?
Yes, I was asking about the tagline of the Pape's brand.
Yeah.
Life is a trip.
Yeah, where does that come from?
Pape?
What?
You were talking about you know, not being great at design, but the design that I'm seeing here looks really good.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I don't know. That's me. I don't like when I see this sign. It's like I don't feel too confident with how do you say it? It's with typography is a big challenge for me, and also how you say it, working with guides and having like, how do you say it? You see, yeah, I don't even know the name, but it's like composition. It's something that comes really difficult for me. It's not natural. I didn't learn it at school. I do use like the golden ratio to build stuff and stuff like that, but it's always forcing me to like, I know it's one of my weaknesses, and that's why it's not like I'm going to do it wrong, but I will work hard into do it the best way possible, because I understand I have trouble with composition and with typography. So I have to force myself a little bit to do it. But thank you, man. Thank you for recognizing that it's good design.
Yeah, man. I think the beauty is today that, especially for what you're doing, there aren't any design gatekeepers. Like I've worked with the design gatekeepers, and their mindsets are very much the opposite of what you're talking about, and they try to act like if you don't go the way that they were taught in school, then it's wrong. But you know, like I said, it's good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, great point. Thank you for that, Cliff. Alrighty, y'all. So we're going to bring today's session to a close. Thank you so much for the great questions. We have one last request before we biggity bounce on out of here, and that is the upload. You know, after today's session, what is one thing that you can take away from today's conversation that you can share? Right? Like, what is the one valuable thing that you got away from today? We'd love to hear it. And I'll start. You know, one of the things that I really took away, and it's one of the reasons why I love core, because everybody does it in their own unique way, is to see an illustrator apply core. I don't think that I've been able to see, you know, someone from a graphic illustrator type background as a talent really build a brand and launch a brand and to have success with it. And it was really awesome to see that approach with core. And so thank you for that, Pape.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pass it on over. Let's say Ioana.
Oh, I was just typing. I thought I didn't have time. I wanted to say I love how Papa said that he's a Sherpa and a guide and a facilitator with core, because I find that to be very true as well. And then, you know, because of the people that are involved and who believe in the brand becomes alive. So thank you for the wonderful presentation today, Pape.
Thank you, Ioana.
Yeah.
And I pick Jose.
Oh man, I wanted to go last, but I'll go now. Pape is me. I am Pape. It's this thing from the beginning, from when Pape joined the community, that really resonated, and has two things to do with core. And there's somewhat not a secret, but something that I haven't really talked about. The first one is that when I chose the case study for Core 2.0 to be a kombucha brand that had roots in Latin America by a woman here in LA, that I met in Venice at a really cool store called
Late Saturday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. And the Late Sunday Afternoon brand is very much like Psychotropic. It's like, you know, merchandise, apparel, books, it's a lifestyle brand, and it's a store. Actually, that might be a good partner. I know the founders, and one of them is a designer, and the other one is an entrepreneur from fashion. I wanted to put a case study that shared with the community the possibility of having your own business, whether it be a kombucha brand or whether it be, you know, your own practice, but more specifically, like small businesses, right, that are being created today. And the fact that her journey was transformational, the roots of what made her create the brand Alquimista, and it was also a woman-led business. I felt that as an example would attract and would help people or inspire at a minimum. It's just a signal. You send out a frequency and a signal. Some people criticized it because they wanted it to be more corporate, like the previous case study. And I think now for the next version that we're working on, it would be like a hybrid of something that's, you know, both, you know, transformational, but also a business kind of not corporate, but more startup-y, et cetera. But the point of all that is that the intention was that, and the fact that Pape joined our community and we've been through this journey together, and we're like, there's so much resonance. It inspires me every day. Every time I hang out with Pape, every time I see this, I'm like, man, and even the challenges, like how do we scale? How do we do, you know, growth? How do you deal with the challenges of sticking to it and being consistency? It's a journey. Life's a trip. And I'm proud and appreciate, you know, all the work. And I will pick Clifford. Oh, sorry, Cliff, before you go, the second thing was, I forgot what it was, but you go. I'll try to remember it.
Okay, so one thing that I got valuable out of today is I think it was really cool to see an artist take his craft and be able to blend it with the core process, the core principles, brand strategy principles, and kind of mesh it together into one beautiful thing. That's something that I've kind of struggled with for myself throughout the years. But seeing this case study makes me think that, you know, some of the artistic ideas that I had in the past, I can take this template and run some of them through the process that Pape has gone through, because I have in my kind of brand strategy, creative consulting life, my artistic endeavors, my more artistic endeavors have taken a back seat, and eventually I want to get back to that. So the inspiration from Pape, I think, gives me an idea about how I can have it make sense for myself.
Thank you, man. And as you're speaking, one thing that I would say is that it reminded me a lot about what Virgil Abloh did. And I feel that bringing yourself to the equation is okay. And I feel that that's where the magic really comes from. Like, it's bring yourself to the table and not being afraid of just fucking it all up, because no one knows what they're doing. Like, everyone is figuring it out, and I feel that, yeah, everything will be all right.
Could I pick another person, Jose?
Please do.
Ferdinand, would you like to go?
Oh, okay. Because I was just gonna say I have the same sentiment as you, like what you mentioned before, and then apart from that, is what I typed in was the story about you and your partner Pape getting the alignment even after having disagreement and stuff, that it still works. Because I've been in situations where a project got twice suspended because the other one didn't have enough interest, and then it just got nothing's moving forward and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. Thank you. Hanya, are you done? You're still muted, yeah.
I'm here, yes. For me, it was very interesting to see, to listen that Pape was not clear at the early beginning. He has a name. He wanted to create a brand, and with core and doing core several times, he got really clear, and actually is working now. He is looking for a projection of the brand. And I have seen also Pape's development, and it's always inspiring. I love also what is Pape drawing in design, because it's really in detail and calls me the attention also. So it's an inspiration. It's possible to create something new. It's possible to develop new ideas. You are doing well, and yeah, thank you for having the opportunity to listen him and how a normal person is doing beautiful things. Thank you.
Anna, thank you.
I should pick someone. I would like to pick Patricia Malinsky.
Thanks, Anya. My upload for today is seeing how Pape worked on his brand with his partner and owning his own artistic voice, because I feel like a lot of us are working on core for like clients, but as he developed the brand and building his own tribe and seeing it come to life, I just, from seeing how they created the profiles and meeting them in like events, or I think Pape mentioned that, and how they come to life with I think that's also the magic of core, because we've also experienced it firsthand. And yeah, I'm just super proud of Pape, of like how he is as a creative person, and he is not sorry for who he is. And that's it. I'm complete. Proud of
Radical
you, Pape.
authenticity.
We're missing Hannah. I think I know Hannah and Jinder, maybe, and yeah, Mark as well. I don't know.
It might be Jana. I will go. I just really enjoyed seeing the iterative process of it and discovering the new customers along the way, and going back to the system to rethink and create. I don't want to sound like salesy or a sales pitch, but you just understanding who that person is and deciding new ways to sell your brand to that new customer.
Someone, Jenna.
I can't see the list of people.
I'll go ahead and I'll choose for you.
Thanks.
Ginder, please.
Hi, Kione. Hi, everyone. Hi, Pepe.
Hey.
Hi. This is really exciting. My takeaway is try something new, because I know Pepe as a mural artist, an illustrator, and this is it's so exciting to see. The apparel is very DIY, punk rock, and using that channel to find a community that digs the brand, not just the brand, but the illustrations. And I've become a super fan. So I hope they ship to the UK, please. That'd be wonderful. Yeah, and I've become a super brand. And I do keep a notebook, and if sometimes I get a lightning bolt and do an illustration, so I'm gonna keep it closer to me, because there are sometimes I doodle something in front of a TV, so that's inspired me, and it's like oh yeah, that's so cool. And I get, it's like the young seedlings of, like, I don't know, in UK we have like Dr. Martens and Fred Perry. They have like really tight connection with the communities, very kind of similar vibe, but same but different. So that I love that uniqueness and innovation, and I love the colors, because the colors are a bit muted in the UK. So I love the colors. Thank you.
Yeah. This is just an insight, but I'm thinking maybe next case study, showing how core helped the brand scale, maybe. Jose.
Yeah, or it's really looking at the brand journey, and from transition. Maybe we can do everyone rebrand. Talk about what it meant from a sales standpoint.
I have one in mind too. Like just hearing about a lot of these questions reminded me of Formosa in its early stages. As like a small, 25-person company to where it's at now. Because that was several years, and that was actually the first client that I put core through.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it always is those are early ones. Who's left? Also, Jeremiah or Marlene. Marlene made a comment.
Alejandro.
And I know Todd has like a question. But go ahead. Who's left? Alejandro. Go.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you all for this show of inspiration. I would like to suck as Pape does in typography. I don't know what he's talking about, but it's just like great. Everything that I saw was amazing. So congrats on that brand. And I came here for inspiration, and for sure I got it. So thank you very much for that, and congrats for that beautiful brand.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. All right. If we don't have any thoughts, we're gonna go ahead and.
My upload.
Oh yeah, your upload. Excuse me. How could we forget you?
There's also your upload, and I'm going to ask you this question in context. And it's if you would have built Psychotropic without core, the question is, would you have felt prepared, or that's kind of like I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to read you the first comment that I sent to you after I did core and just before the last core session. And it's like, hey, Jose, I hope you're doing great. This year, I finally got the chance to buy the core discovery kit, and it's been a life changer. I know from now on, my work will progress much more. This was the missing link, and it has helped me connect so many things of my journey. I love how this is more than just a framework to design project. It is a soul seeker. It's magic. Core helps me connect the art side, abstract emotion, with the business, more tangible side of creativity. I guess this is the sign. Today, I'm having my first client session. And I think that answers your question. Like, I couldn't have done it without core. Core was the missing link for me. And yeah, that's my answer.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yeah.
But now you can do your upload.
Yeah, I'm so touched, and I inspired as well to listen and seeing people resonate to this story. As I said, my biggest challenge has been with rejecting myself a lot and apologizing for being myself. And my practice every day is just coming back to doing it and keep doing it. And I feel that what I realize now is that I'm just a human illustrating the journey of life. That's the only thing I'm doing. And I feel that's something that anyone can connect to. And that's my journey of Psychotropic, that at the end is your journey, is you connected with your inner child. Is you connecting through music and having a music traveler that is going to make the playlist of your life. It's having the omens of good vibes that will guide you when you're having trouble, when you're like all of that. And you can see it in the Behance. It's all a manual of how to live life. And that's what I'm doing through the brand. That's what I do when I run core for others. That's me, transparent. I am what I think I am who you think I am, and I am what I think you think I am. And that's full alignment. And I'm happy to have 32 years old and being able to say that. I'm a lucky, I'm a fucker for being able to say that. I'm sorry. Like,
all good, brother. Radical authenticity here. Thank you for the drop in. And then I guess it'll be my drop in. I'm just gratitude for the community and the mentors that have been here in this space. Everyone here is a mentor, and I'm learning from each and every one of you. Core is a practice that really allows for each individual to leverage their own unique skills, talent, and experience, and to bring a very powerful perspective into, the skill and the execution of building a brand. And so every time I see someone with a unique background, cultural heritage, perspective on the world, leverage Core to build, it always gives me further clarity into how powerful of a tool that it is, and just new insights in how to wield it. Fascinated by how you used it to build the story, and the brand and all of the extensions, and the execution is top notch, brother. Creme de la creme. So yeah, I'm just honored and grateful to be able to sit backstage and see how this thing was designed.
Yeah,
Jose, last words?
Yeah, there's a few more things. I also want to acknowledge, Ioana and the work that her team has done for the Systm brand and for music.com and for all the projects that we've done. It's amazing to have you here, Ioana. I know you have to jump, but just letting you know that there's a lot of love and gratitude.
Thank you so much. My team was here waiting for me, so they all heard it. Thank you so much. I'm happy to contribute and to build this together. Co-creation is very powerful.
Thank you. Have a good day. As we wrap up, I want to ask you guys a huge favor, Ioana included. There's a link in the chat, and it's also in the YouTube, to a survey that we're doing for the next few weeks. And it's really an impact survey of how Systm, myself, Keone, the work that we've done has helped you in your business. And then at the end, education, community, advisory. Those are the three things that we're focused on. And share pictures and screenshots during that. Discord link is coming up. Like and subscribe. And now, music and no cookies. That's it.
Rad, y'all.
Anna, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Kinder, it's been so good to see you and hear you.
You guys are rad. Glad to see some of y'all again.
Thank you, Pape.
Yeah.
One note just here, like at the tail end, as we kind of wrap up during music and no cookies. I don't remember the other thing. The first thing was that the case study was exactly for this to occur. That it inspired people to create their own businesses. But there's something that it keeps on coming up for me, and it's Latin America, and it's building beyond like the corporate projects and brands that we do, and in doing each of them, ourselves. So how do we impact, especially at the business model level? In this case, is an idea of having a transformational, positive experience, a lifestyle brand that it's about changing people and their experience, not just about selling t-shirts. And that kind of creates the foundation for creating something great. So always inspired, always drives me to do things like scaling. Now we can share and collaborate, the information that we're having on how to scale. There's even people on this call that are experienced in that. So thank you, everybody. So much love. Thank you, Keone, for hosting, Pat for producing, everyone who supports, and where we are where we are. Here we are. See you in 2 weeks.
Peace, y'all.